Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. This is the Meta-Two AfterShow, and we are talking about the aftermath of Stand and Deliver 2024, which was a fantastic show, may I add. I would even dare say I might have liked it better than night one of WrestleMania,
Oh,
which is
what? Why is night one getting whacked? Like every which way I turn, night one's getting whacked.
no, I there were things of night one like I loved Rhea's match, and I loved the girls, Bianca and Young and Naomi and stuff. But like, I just felt like I thought like at least with Stand and Deliver, I think I've liked every match almost. There was maybe like one and a half. I'm like, oh no, but otherwise, you know, I liked it. So, but yes, we are here to talk the aftermath, the first NXT after Stand and Deliver. I am Katrina, host and creator of An Account We Trust, but also one of the hosts of the Meta-Two After Show, and I am here with my twin, Shay. How are you today?
I'm not gonna lie, it's been a trying weekend for me. It's been very trying. There's been a lot of things that went on that I did not co-sign, but you know what? That was one of the best WrestleManias I've ever watched. So I'm doing pretty good. And Stand and Deliver was fire as well.
Yeah, there were some things I was a little bit sad about, grieving for my tribal chief. Grief. It's just, but it's fine. It's fine, guys. I was very, 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 very sad. Okay, and I had a lot of people laughing when I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to grieve," and it was like, "Oh, but Cody doesn't care." You understand, guys? Like, I have been a Roman fan from the very beginning, and one of the most awesome reigns ever. And so, yeah. But also Drew McIntyre, while I am a fan of him, he did it to himself. I can't even say I was like my guy. He was wellin'. You was wellin'. You just took your time and got out of there, but you wanted to sit here and finagle and stuff. Like my guy,
He was
chill.
crawling on the table and all that. I'm like, what is going on right now with you? It was a lot of listen.
Yeah,
That's
no,
all I'm
he
gonna
he did a lot.
say. Like
He did a lot. And I'm like, oh, and look at you. Now you're not a champion. I was thinking he's gonna get his WrestleMania moment because when he won it the last time it was quarantine year. That was the Thunderdome, the empty arena. And so that I'm like, oh, the man about to get his moment. Nope. I was like, my guy, you have one job: get in and get out. And you could have celebrated if you wasn't too big talking shit to CM Punk. So, but yes, let's get into it for the first of NXT. And so again, we got some new champion in NXT after Stand and Deliver, which was the match between Lyra and Roxanne Perez. And so champion, as she is, decides to uh, you know, come out with the new belts, very gloating, very happy, or like happy, but not like in more of an antagonistic way. And in that time, Lyra did come out and demand a rematch. However, Tatum, while she seemed at first to be on board with this, that took a hard turn when she attacked Lyra instead, and Roxanne seemed to have thought that was really cool. She seemed to laugh at that, and so Natalia didn't come and basically challenged Roxanne, and Ava made it official, even though Roxanne didn't seem particularly happy with it. I feel a few things, and I'm not like one. I do think that how sometimes it's like people say sometimes the chase is better than having the title, and this is not because I don't know what this reign for Roxanne will be, but I do think she struggled a tad with this promo as like a heel champion. I felt like it was a little bit of a struggle. Like she got no, she got it eventually, but at first I was like, girl, let's you gotta keep the energy you had when you was chasing the title again. And so I felt for in the beginning she did struggle a bit. I did think that. With that being said, the fact that she's going against Natty, I'm not sure how I feel because I'm like, hey, and hi Jeffrey. I'm hoping it's not going to be another short reign. I'm probably going to be a little bit annoyed by that. Because don't do all that to her. This girl has to go heel to get a title back, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, she might go to the main roster. Don't do that. Like, I'm like, listen, guys, you can't be doing this to me. Like, I wanted the girl to get the title back. She got it back. Don't do anything with all of a sudden. It's like, oh, she's gonna be here for a couple of weeks and then she's gone. Like, don't do that. But I guess we'll see. But it does look like she may be heading to the main roster, and I might have been like, kind of a feeler of having her yesterday at Raw. You know, and so we'll see. But otherwise, it was a decent open. I do think Natty, being who Natty is, yeah, after knowing who Natty is and she's like a vet, the one thing we always know is Natty is always going to be the reliable vet for the women. That's something that's always been said. Everybody has said this. And so I think it's a good match for her. But the fact that she said on her own that she was going to vacate the title if she gets drafted to SmackDown or Raw, I'm like, she just got it back. And so I really wasn't happy about that because I'm just like, can we stop? Also, the NXT, the commentators definitely kept reminding everybody it's the new era. But otherwise it was decent open. What were your thoughts on this?
I was happy. Like, I've been saying how I really, really like it was somewhere in the middle between the feud with Lyra and Roxanne where I shifted and I was like, you know what, I want Roxanne to win. And so her winning, I was really, really happy. Yeah, no, I'm really, I don't know. I guess I enjoyed the promo. I could see what you're saying about certain things, but I guess it just was like what, is what it is. But I think she's still kind of learning her footing as a heel. So I'm just giving her grace for right now. But I think she held up pretty well. And I loved how she was telling the crowd, like, shut up. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say because y'all was not on that type of time with me. I was being disrespectful. We didn't forget when y'all was booing her for no reason whatsoever. We didn't forget, and neither did she, and nor should she. So I was happy to see her get her lick back on them because they really are so fickle up in that arena. They are so fickle. I mean, I guess Natalya is a great first defense for any title. So I mean, that's a great way to start. I am a little bit annoyed about the whole draft thing and, the possibility of her having another short reign. That's irritating to me because I saw this second chance as her getting her chance to really have a good run that she did not get the last time. And so now with, things with the draft happening, it's like, listen, y'all better not pick her. Listen. At this point, don't pick her because I want her to have a long, meaningful reign. Like, I feel like she had that stolen from her with that ridiculous storyline, whatever that was last time, however real or fake it was, for her to have to relinquish. It still sucks because I feel like Roxanne has been putting in work. She has been their go-to reliable person for anything. Anytime I need to send somebody out to main rock, go. We need you, girl. Anybody for girl, we need, go on, girl. Every time. So it's like I feel like she deserves to get that good reign because she's always been a good hand. She's always been someone there for anything every time you need them. And she's going to give you bomb matches as well. It's like she just has no drawbacks in my eyes. So I really would like for her to have a long reign. So let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. Prepare for the worst always. And Tatum, girl, we knew that was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. I was just kind of shocked that it happened then. Like, it just came out of nowhere, which I guess was the point. They didn't want it to be so obvious. So that's good. Lyra, you got to stop coming out places when you're injured because they're going to hit you. I don't know why you keep doing that, girl. You don't learn. It's crazy to me. Tatum, girl, you crazy, but I like it. So that's what it is.
Yeah, no, you were definitely right about the booing. I was highly annoyed with them booing my girl. I was like, she didn't even do anything. Y'all booed her. Like, hey, Corey. Fans are fickle. Fans are fickle. And yes, Lyra, like, girls, like, I'm gonna just need you to use, this is what you're gonna use that common sense. Not me. Personally. Listen, like, I just need to like if my turtleneck king goes, I can't deal. That's too much for me right now. Like especially if they have him, they can talk to Cody. I wouldn't be upset. I want that. You're not gonna do my guy dirty, okay? Because next minute, which goes on tomorrow, what you want to talk about, and then it's Ilya's gonna be there. I'm like, whoa, 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 what's this? Let's calm that down. Let's calm that down a bit. Like I have my guy going down to him. So, yeah. The only thing with this is that would defeat the purpose of the draft again. Like,
let me tell you, girl, if they draft him to SmackDown or Raw, every time we do NXT, guess what? We have a special slot. We talking about whatever Dragunov was doing on whatever brand he ends up on. That's a special slot. I'm not letting it go. No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to. So we're just gonna have to. Oh, it's time to talk about Dragunov time.
I think Jakara will be fine. Don't do that. See, don't put that negativity in the air. That's negative. That's real negative. Why would you say you want him to shave? Don't do that. Don't do that. That's negative. That's real negativity right there. But yes, if he moves anywhere else, we would definitely have a time dedicated to Mr. Turtleneck King. Okay, turtlenecks all day. So this leads us to our first match of the night, which is some ladies' action between Fallon, Henley, and Kalani Jordan versus Izzy Dame and Kiana James. And so I thought it was a solid match. And so, this is where, I'm like, okay, one, I did feel like this is what we're saying about Fallon not knowing how to mind hers. I feel like her not being able to mind hers is why she might have been having these tough times. Because, like, girl, you had one job. You could have just mind yours, It felt like, even like the commentators, they were saying that Fallon did lose because she needed to save Kalani. And it's like, listen, I'm a good friend, and I will probably give my last. I will. But you gotta know when to be like, this is not the time. Because a good teammate will be like, listen, I'm gonna let you take this so I can then do what I need to do for us as a group. And so that was the problem we had with Fallon, because she decided to kind of, basically sacrifice herself for Kalani. And in turn, her doing that, she would take the pen. And so what I would say is, she got the 401k from Kiana, and I thought it was a bit fitting, to be fair. What I would say is I felt like they had some good momentum in the beginning of this. I did. But I just and I did like that. Obviously, there was no commercial. This was so it's like a 7-minute match. It wasn't, I thought it was good flow. With that being said, I do think she needs to chill with trying to feel like she needs to be mom. And this is coming from somebody who will tell you real quickly, yeah, because she's the reason why they lost. I feel like if she would have just maybe did what she needed to do, that wouldn't have happened. I feel like this is, I'm gonna get there. Like I feel like her doing that wound up making them lose. And if you're a good teammate, you got to know sometimes it's like, it's all right, we're gonna take this for whatever it is. And so that's my issue with Fallon's, like she doesn't know what to do with herself, so she's always involved in something. And they lost. Do I think it seems to me that Fallon could very well be one of the people we're gonna see in that NXT North American Championship? I do feel that. I do feel like because they feel like they're really going in to put her in the forefront of things, that she's gonna probably be, she's probably one of the people. I feel that. With that being said, though, I do think she needs to learn how to discern what she needs to pop in for and what she doesn't need to pop in for. And that's the problem. But it wasn't a bad. It wasn't bad at all in that regard. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. It's a pretty solid match. It wasn't anything to like write home about, but it was, it was pretty decent. And also, happy to see Kiana getting a win. Like, that's how it should be, honestly. everyone's like, oh, Fallon's such a good friend. She pushed Kalani out the way. Performative, because your friend has been crying for help for weeks and you've been paying him dust. So, girl, I'm not trying to hear all that. Performative, get out my face. I'm not trying to hear it. I do see Fallon as one of those people that's definitely going to be in the running for the North American title. Probably Lola, probably Natalia, since I don't know how long she'll be there for, but probably her as well. But we rooting for Lash Legend. Anyways, but yeah, honestly, I was happy they got their win because I was unhappy that they lost at Stand and Deliver, because I feel like, why?
Yeah, to be fair, Kalani is the person I'm really rooting for that group that they were in anyway. To be fair, that's just me though. But yes, and agreed. We definitely are here for the 401k. Before that match though, there was a segment basically with JC Jane kind of taunting Andre Chase for betting on the Thea Hills NXT Women's Championship match, which I'm like, all right, I thought we moved past that. Like, why are you bringing it up? I thought we were past that already. I thought everything was in good place, good standing. But I mean, I guess. But your thoughts on that segment?
JC is so just like, she just can't help herself. She's like, you know what? I'm getting my last lick. Y'all thought y'all got me? No, I'm about to do it. And oh my god, I'm at the point where like, yo, Andre, if you don't expel her, like I'm gonna have to take it to the higher ups, because this is getting ridiculous. Because what are you mad about now? Now you found out that you treated this man like dirt, all because he believed in you. Your whole thing, you was mad about him, was because he didn't believe in you. When really he saw that you was getting beat on because you was not gonna beat Tiffany. You was not. And he was nice enough to throw away his money to make sure you were okay, because he cared that much about you. He threw away his money and you treated him like dirt for months. You made him go bankrupt. You made him have to do some funny things for some change. And you treated him so bad. And then you brought this Benedict Arnold woman into the group and made it worse and thought she was doing something. Now you're mad again. What are you mad about? You should be happy, because the whole time you've been begging for somebody to, I just want somebody to believe in me. Well, now you found out that the number one person you wanted to believed in you the whole time. Why are you like, what are you running away for? What are you huffing and puffing about? I'm really trying to figure it out, girl. You are working my last nerve. I have had it.
No, well, that's a question we have been asking also. Why can't Fallon get some business of her own? I feel like we said this. You know, we said this, that she needs to, if she gets some business of her own, she'll have less time to worry about what's happening with everybody else, because she has her own business to worry about. And yeah, Thea, girl, every time she says something, I'm just like, you know what? Like, whatever happens, it's on you. Like, don't even have Andre Chase come for her. Like, don't let them come and help her or nothing. Like, let her deal with it. Because, like, girl, you can't be that. Like, we all had friends. I'm sure like we all had a one friend. You know, oh, this person's not good. You don't listen. But like, it's usually like you have to see things on your own. And the fact with JC was very open and out there with her shenanigans, and she was just acting like she didn't see that. It's very different if it's somebody that was being good and being secretive about it, which you didn't see it. But like in JC's case, she's kind of been out there with it. So I'm like, girl, are we not seeing the same thing? Like, but you know, people sometimes use common sense here. Sometimes in NXT. Um, That now leads us to our next matchup, which was Javon Evans versus Scripps with OTM. And so this is Javon's NXT TV debut. And he kind of said in what you call it, that he's going to be a bit bouncy. And I felt like this was something he definitely was. He basically moved around, the ring with such ease. Basically like flew in and out of the ring. It was actually insane. And to an extent, I would even say, so before, like, I guess before that, Scripps and Jada did say that OTM is going to be victory for OTM, but by the time, we get to like the matchup, the crowd did seem to really be with Javon in this, like the point where they were cheering young OG, which, I think, I've seen some of his stuff previously, and so I was a little bit pivy already to how he wrestled. Um, but it was kind of really cool to really see, like, it felt like he was floating in instances when he was moving around the ring. Like, he just moves so bouncy and so quick. And obviously this was like a spot, like this was definitely like a spot fest at some point. But he basically, would do his springboard corkscrew senton to win this matchup. So his TV debut, and he won the match. I thought it was pretty cool. Um, while I do have my issues with scripts because I'm like, bro, what are you here for? To be fair, he moves pretty fast enough as well that he was able to kind of, move and keep up with Javon in that regard. But I definitely think this is somebody again who I've seen a little bit of his stuff previously. That I'm like, yeah, this is an absolutely awesome opportunity, and I think he's definitely somebody that's going to be like when you talk about like somebody like Axiom, for instance, who's like somebody who's quick and do it, kind of get you excited to see what they're going to do in the ring, and I think he's going to definitely be one of those personally. And so I feel like this is definitely an option for him to be like I feel like he'll do well in NXT. I do feel that. With that being said, I would say because I think Vic called this a massive upset. An upset to who, Vic? Who was upset? Who was upset about him losing? I want to know. I mean, that person who was upset that Scripps lost. The man hasn't won anything in like almost forever. So like, who is possibly upset here? Sean would be insane to have Scripps, lose to Javon after he just got here, but he clearly knows what he's doing in his type of wrestling. And so, okay, Vic, I was like, Vic, you might want to you might want to replay that back a couple times, try it again about who was, yes, who as many times as possible, because who was saying this? I just want to find the person. Like you say here tomorrow, you was disappointed. It was an upset. Please. So, I thought it was a really good first match, honestly. Very, very impressed. And I do think it's going to be like, and not to compare them, it's just like you think of Axiom, who's very quick, and somebody who moves around the ring very similarly in that regard. I do think he's going to have a really good time here in NXT, if they keep doing him right, and Sean does not do any shenanigans. But what were your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, this was a fun match. I mean, I knew it was going to be quick pace. When you see Scripps in the ring, he's known for that. I like Javon. I think that he's super talented. I think the stuff that he was doing was crazy. Like the cutter. Like, be blessed for real. But my only thing is, I feel like he has like a personality, but it's kind of like a generic. I could find someone with this personality at a random Walmart. It's not anything over the top or extraordinary about it. It's like, oh yeah, you have a great personality, you're cool, but I just need a little bit more. Like the thing with Axiom, yeah, he's a little bit chilled out. Like, before he put on the mask, I think putting on the mask gave him something extra. So what is it that Javon needs that's extra that can pull me in besides him being a good wrestler? Yeah. I need that extra thing. But fantastic wrestler, loved it. I feel like OTM is definitely kicking Scripps out soon. Like, I'm just getting that vibe. I don't know why, but I'm getting that vibe. And maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for Miss Parker to just, I think, Allstate, she's good hands for OTM.
Yeah, because what has Scripps been doing, or as Jeffrey said, Scribbles? What has he been doing for the team? I don't think he's been doing much. But, whatever. So this now leads us into our next matchup, which was for the NXT Women's Championship between Natalya and champion herself, Miss Roxanne Perez. And so this was pretty solid. I felt like Natalya kind of had Roxanne on the ropes a good chunk of the match. Like, I felt like it was kind of weird, because like not in a bad way, just like I felt like there might have been a little bit pacing problems for me, where I felt like there was parts where the pace did not fit or something, like something was off. And I felt like Natalya definitely dominated a good chunk of this match, which is unfortunate. Again, like we love Natty, but this is her first, you know, this is her first title shot, a title match or defense of this title as a heel. And so you have to kind of allow some stuff to happen. And it kind of felt like, Roxanne was the face to an extent with how much I felt like Natty kind of had more up in control of the match. And I don't know, like it didn't allow the crowd to react to any heat she was trying to get. I didn't really feel it with this because Natty really like almost ridiculously kicked her behind in this regard. But with that being said, I do think both of them are very solid technical wrestlers, and this is me knowing Roxanne from Roxy when she was in ROH, of just like she knows her shit, and it's like they could work through transitioning pretty well, which I did like. With that being said, Lola did interfere. She kicked Natty, which allowed Roxanne to hit her Pops Rocks and keep her title for another day. She did put Natty at some point into the steel steps and then into the announce table multiple times, but this was like halfway through the match. And Natty, of course, went for her sharpshooter. But a good submission, you got to keep the person out. Got to keep the person out of the the ropes. Got to move them back to them. You got to do a Kurt Angle. Gotta slide your ass back to the middle. Like you think, you almost made it. Nope. Let me just drag you right on back to the middle where you belong. The middle, right in the middle. And so people gotta learn this. I keep telling this. I'm gonna see this. I'm like, so nobody learned anything from Kurt. You better drag the ass back. You better do. You better bring people back to the middle. Maybe take the strap off. Like do one piece. Maybe if you have one, do what he did to let him know it was extra serious during that time. But drag him back to the middle of the ring. But otherwise, I thought this was a solid match for what it was. There was Lola did make her, call her shot, I guess, for the championships, which Natty did attack her during that, and Soroka did say she kind of wanted to go for the Women's North American Championship to Ariana Grace. And then told Lola to kind of relax after the brawl with Natty, which she should have told her because, like you gotta calm down. You gotta calm down, Lola. You need to calm down, Lola. You didn't do enough to be having this type of extra attitude. Calm down. You about to be on my felon list just for doing too much. You're doing too much. Relax. But yes. Yeah, I know. It might be, to be fair, because like the way my back is sometimes, I don't know if I'm saying anything. Like I might get maybe a half of a knee. To be fair, so this is me wrestling. I guess this is why I'm not wrestling. But yeah, that is what happened. What are your thoughts on the match and the other backstage stuff that happened?
I feel like I expect a little bit more from this match. I saw people on the timeline saying, "Oh, she's about to give her a best match." Natalya was going to give Roxanne her best match. I was like, "What happened?" Not to say it was bad, but it definitely wasn't Roxanne's best match. And I think that if they had a little bit more time, they definitely could have done something like more. Because I think it was a good match. I don't think it was bad. I feel like if they had more time, it could have really been something. And I feel like, and I'm making it a thing, the Tuesday after Stand and Deliver, we should have got more. Just like we have the Raw after Mania, we have the Tuesday after Stand and Deliver, and we should have had more from this. Like I think it should have just got more time. That's my only thing. I do agree. Like Natalya had a lot of offense, like way more than she probably should have had. I don't know what that was about. Roxanne, girl, I love you. Like that's it. Like I'm riding to the wheels fall off because I know people are trying to come at you today. Her facial expressions are fine. Okay, you have to be a little bit over the top. Okay, they about to be going to CW, so she got to get ready. It's drama over there. It's drama, nothing more. So you know what? Get the facial expressions together. It's not that deep. She's still one of the best in that company, and I'm counting it with men and women. Okay, so y'all can keep being mad about some facial expressions because she's still gonna put it on the floor every time. Lola is cracking me up. I don't know what it is, but after she did that dance, just standing there while he was on the floor, I'm sorry, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And now I'm just cracking up. Like it's just so sick. Like, why would you do that to somebody? Like, you just beat them. You just like my hip. Like, it's the funniest thing I've seen in my life. Then moving on to the most dangerous place in NXT, the women's locker room. So Ruka, I love the fit. I have to say, girl, I was gagged. I just have to say, you look great. Ariana, oh my God, when she said, "Oh, I'm interested in the belt too," and Ariana goes, "Oh," I screamed. Ariana, you are the funniest person on that roster right now. Literally, she is so funny for no reason, and I can't wait until we see Georgina. I really think that's about to be like a breakout, like storyline for NXT for this new season, because that's what it's a new season. That is going to be the breakout storyline, because when she reveals herself, whatever Ariana did to Gigi, that is about to be pure jokes. So I'm ready. I really am.
Yeah, no, Soul Walker was looking was A1. She definitely was, and Ariana, that was perfect timing. It was perfect, just perfect timing. Yeah, I mean, no, Natty wasn't, but I'm just saying for me personally, I know how my back is, and so if y'all think y'all getting that out of Katrina, we'll just go the assist. You thought. And that's as for Lola dancing, like, girl, she dances one more time. Like, she's starting to remind me of Do you remember that thing of it was that I don't know, it was supposed to be like it was just a guy, if anybody knows Dave Chappelle, it was this guy who was like doing this weird dancing and doing this, like, that's the vibes I'm getting. Like, girl, what are you doing that for? Like, just stop. I don't want to see stop. For the love of God. Like, so because you were supposed to be this badass, and now that didn't really work out for, now you're gonna be this dancing person, just interfering. You're gonna just be dancing between. Figure it out. I'm supposed to take you seriously, and you dancing? I'm not taking you seriously at all. Now I'm like, now I hope you get beat up off principle. But I feel like it could be with Georgina. It could be a thing if Gigi takes it and really run with it. If she takes it and do what she's been doing all this time, then it will not be. I feel like she has to make it work, like Ariana has made this beauty queen, thing work for her. I feel like that's what needs to be done. I would also say, yeah, listen, the crowd pissed me off a few times. I'll tell you that on both nights. On both nights, I feel like some of the fans were really getting on my nerves. I'm just like, all right. But yeah, with that being said, as far as CW, listen, as long as I get my move-in promo pictures where it's drama, like, I got to see the most dramatic pictures I can see, because it's the CW, and we know what to expect. CW, we expect drama. That's not really drama, but it's drama. It's like, it's drama, but you're like, girl, please, like, what is this? But also drama. I better see, like, the this is gonna be Ariana's time. Okay, it's CW vibes. This is gonna be hers. This is all her right here. This is the perfect time. Perfect time to really hone that in. This is made for Ariana. But yeah. Otherwise, like you said, we'll see. And so this now leads us to our next match, which was the family versus the no quarter catch crew. And so backstage, Charlie Dempsey talked about a parent blood sport, and it wound up leading into them getting into it with the family, which kind of set up this match in the first place. And I did notice that Drew Gulak seems absent from this, but he wasn't even mentioned as he normally is on the Titantron. So I'm like, okay. I mean, we'll see. And obviously Tony, because he had his, Ilya gave him the work like he should. Okay, like I said, I semi said some of this on Twitter because we are here now. Some of y'all was sitting in here telling us that Tony had a chance. That's why I was like, oh, he's showing what power he got when he took him to the bridge and did nothing but made him walk home. And y'all was like, oh, 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 oh. He's going to do this to Ilya. And what did Ilya do? Oh, that's right. He retained. And so, of course, he's home resting because he got beat up. That's that. I mean, I know, but no, there's somebody else's announcement on Twitter though. There was definitely somebody else, and so I had to say this now because we're talking about it. That Ilya did what needed to be done. He did need to be done. I was very happy with the way that played out. And so Tony, being absent as you should, rest up, okay, because Ilya showed you what it is. And so I don't know. I didn't particularly like this match too much. I felt like this was a bit rushed, and I felt like not as clean as I wanted it to look. It was a bit sloppy for me. And I don't know what's gonna happen with the No Quarter Catch Crew, but for some reason, I just feel like anything that's supposed to give me, like this is supposed to be a dominant faction, I'm not getting that. I feel like there's something missing. I don't know what it is, but there's something that I can't find incredible for me. And then it was even worse without Drew being there. And so it's like, if Drew's really gone, Charlie, you better step it up a little bit. We gotta get this together. But even with that being said, Charlie tried to help Miles and Damon pull off this, but they just didn't seem like they were in the same like rhythm. And so Sax and Lucia, they landed like a lung blower. I think that's what it's called, the elevated lung blower. For the victory, they won, and I was like, all right, okay. And so I guess good for the family that they was able to win after Tony lost as he should have. But I do think No Quarter Catch Crew, they gotta figure out something. They gotta figure out something because I feel like there's whatever I'm supposed to take seriously, I can't. I'm not taking anything seriously at all. I'm like, okay. And it's not like we don't know if they can wrestle on there because they can. It's just I don't know. It's not hitting. In regards to that whole Tony didn't bring the chopper, it wouldn't have mattered. Ilya would not. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That man liked to be violent, and that's fine. And yes, I'm gonna have to agree with that as well. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, it was kind of like whatever. It was very just a basic match. It wasn't nothing really too crazy about it. It seems like, I mean, I feel like OTM every person in OTM had a match. So it seems like they are focusing a little bit more on them. I mean, considering I guess Jada was the only one that actually won, but I mean, we'll see. It could give Judgment Day tease. Like, she's just kind of like running things and gonna get them right over time. Who knows? But yeah, this match was kind of like whatever to me. It wasn't anything over the top. And I think them having Drew always be the mouthpiece really hampered them now, because now it's like everything's showing. You can't hide behind another mouthpiece. Now you have to be the mouthpiece. I feel like Damon is a little bit probably the better talker of the three, for sure. So I was a little shocked when they were having kind of Charlie be that main, kind of like felt like the main voice. But I mean, I think they just need another person. They need another really big personality to be added. Because I feel like they're all very like, they're good wrestlers. That's what it is. They're good wrestlers. Not to say they're boring, but they're not like a large enough. They need that one larger than life person to be added to the group to give it a little bit of spice, a little bit of pizzazz. Someone that really commands a room with their voice. I feel like, and they can just do the talking in the ring because that's what they do best. They are all really good performers. Damon's very good. He did this move. I don't even know what it's called, but it was beautiful. So well executed. We already know what Charlie. We already know how Charlie gives it up. So I don't even speak on that. And Miles as well is getting up there. Like he is just like he seems like one of those naturally gifted athletic people. Like honestly, so yeah, they just need that person that's a little bit more. Because I feel like even like Drew Gulak, like he's not as over the top. They need even bigger personality to really make this hit, and they need someone who really commands a room. So yeah, that's just my thought process on that.
No, I hear you. I agree. I was a little surprised about Charlie being the mouthpiece also because he's been so quiet for the most part. It's just like so to be fair, again semi revealing my age, a quarter could get you a lot back in the day. Now not so much. Now not so much. But back in the day, you can probably get like 10 minutes on the dry at the laundromat with quarter. Maybe 8 to 10 minutes. But now a quarter does nothing. You can't even get you can't even get a piece of candy. At least at the bars, things for 25 cents as well. But and to this whole put him with Lexus, maybe if you do it well, but I also and to Jeffrey's point, I do think you got to figure out what's happening with him first because we've been saying we don't know what's happening with Lexus. Like he's there, he's in matches, but we don't know what his purpose is, what his future. We don't know that. We're just kind of in the trenches. I don't know. Craziness, crazy stuff. So this leads us to our next match you mentioned already previously with Jada Parker with OTM versus Brindley Reese with Malik and Idris Anafe. And so this wasn't bad. It's all right. You can tell both of them are not fully developed all the way in the ring yet. You can see that. But also this is like they kind of have less than a year wrestling experience, so it's not like a big deal. I do think they did so far a good job of trying to establish their characters and even kind of putting one a little bit over the other in ways in regards to how they're presenting them. I actually think Jada will probably have a better, I guess, more able to have some more rivalries. I feel like that's where they're leading with this. But you know, it was alright. Like I said, it like Jada and Brindley, they kind of had their moments, but Jada would do a hip attack to take the win. I do think they gotta figure out what to do with Brindley because I feel like she's not really getting much um like wins when they have her, that's unfortunate. Um, but it probably felt like this was one of the to that question. It wasn't a match they had to go extra hard about possibly. But it wasn't. It was all right. It was all right. I do think they need to get better in the ring, and I do think that I can see who will probably have the more serious feuds already. And so I guess before I ask you about your thoughts on the match, just give these segments as well. So Oba did go into the ring to challenge anybody to step up to him for his championship, and Ivar of the Viking Raiders came and said, "Oh, okay," he wanted a title shot and basically like lead him out, which I was like, "All right, like I get you're a big guy, but don't be like you can't have Oba did everything he did on Saturday, and then all of a sudden he just get no. We can't be having that because the man picked up two men. Okay, me personally, I would have been done. Try to pick up one person, I would have been on my back, just laying, just laying there. But he picked up two big ass men with ease. Yes, it was a lot of meat. This is the kind of vibes we are on. Okay. Um. But yeah, and so I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Dijak also told Metaphor, that he didn't particularly like their jokes, and Noam Dar told him to lighten up. And if I don't know if that means he Dijak because he's a big dude. If they're gonna move him up to the main roster, that's very possible. Again, we do have a draft coming, so it's very possible to move him up. Also, Gio Gacy did mock Rich Holland. Then LWO kind of called him out as being a liar. And Rich would slam a car door on Cruz del Toro's hand. on his way out of the building. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Rich, personally. I thought you said you was done wrestling. Why are you even in the building? I just want to know. Like, if you say I retire, then take your ass home and retire. Like, why are you there getting offended by jokes? If you stay, what do you there? Like, well, why are you there being upset that Joe Gacy is basically cheap? Like, stay home. You are retired, my guy. This shouldn't bother you. You don't know what's being said of you not in the premises. You know what I'm saying? But what are your thoughts on that match and segments following?
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna see. I might forget one in between because you're my brain. So for the match, Jada and Thea's less annoying cousin Brinley was a pretty basic match. It wasn't anything like, same thing. It wasn't anything to write home about, like, honestly. And I'm a little bit upset about that. I've said this at least 3 times on the Tuesday after Stand and Deliver. I will keep saying that because it should be a thing. Yeah, like it was just kind of like, I guess, to just make Jada look good, which I'm okay with because I like her. I think she is fire. Found out she's an Aquarius, so now I'm really on her team. So yeah, I'm happy to see her growth because I do see the growth. I think she already has the star quality. She already has like that presence when she comes out. Like she captivates people. Like she got the crowd saying Miss Parker the whole match. Like they locked in with her. They really locked in. I'm locked in too, actually. So it's cool. We all on the same page for once, because I'm never on the same page as the NXT crowd, honestly. Brinley girl, I don't know what's going on with her, but her gear was fire. But we need to figure something out instead of her for losing and having a good attitude about it. That's not going to work for me much longer. I'm not going to see Idris and Malik carry this girl out one more time. The next match needs to get a win. Seriously, it's getting ridiculous. The segment right after, what was that? Because
the Obafemi and Ivar of the Reiki Raiders.
The filler feud. All right, I'm gonna let y'all have it until you get the next person that's gonna come, because clearly that's what this is. But I think it's gonna be fun. I mean, they're definitely gonna give us a good match, and now I have more faith and more like excitement for Oba's matches. He's had some really good matches. His match with Dragon Lee, and then now he had what was my favorite match of the night for NXT Stand and Deliver, which was the triple threat. And speedy recovery to Josh Briggs with the 2 fractured ribs. That sucks, but that was a great performance that he put on. He really, really, I was like, oh my God, like you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. And I'm happy that you're doing a lot. I was very happy with that. But yeah, no, Ivar versus Oba is definitely going to be a good match for sure. Like, I think that, they both are capable, especially after just what Oba has shown. Like, I'm jumping on his team because at first I was like, let me see what you're about, like, but now I'm like, oh, okay, you're about something. Okay. Metaphor, Dijak. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Dijak. But I kind of like him being at NXT. Like, he's just that. I mean, I know everyone has to go somewhere sometimes, but like, I don't want them to mess with him. I think he's been so great in NXT, and I fear no shade, because you know what, Triple H, you do your big one. I'm not even going to be like that with you. You do your big one. You did your biggest one this weekend. You really did. But every time somebody transitions to the main roster, like things get weird, and I can't let it get weird with my boy Dijak. I can't let it get weird anymore. And then the last one, because they literally, like, clearly Shawn Michaels was watching Charmed this weekend and said, you know what? This is a good storyline. Because why? You literally put the whole Murphy's Luck episode on Ridge now. He just causes pain to anyone he's around. He's just bad luck. And also, he really pissed me off. I don't know what came over me. Bro, you picked up a whole chair, came out. What you mean? You didn't have any thoughts between that time? Stop lying. No, see, that really pissed me off. Because what do you mean? Oh, I need to talk to him to apologize. Bro, you lucky he won. Because really, actually, if I was Joe, it's on site. Joe, you know what? But Joe got his lick back, and he didn't have to lay a finger on you. He dragged you so bad, and all you could do was run away because you knew everything he said was facts. Joe, the man that you are, the man that you are, you ate him up. And you will always have a fan in me for what you did. And then he gonna go. Joaquin Wild was like, let me get a whack at him too, because I had a WrestleMania moment. So now I want to whack you too. You ain't nothing. You was doing a lot on the main roster. You ain't doing nothing down here. That's exactly what he said. He said it like that. That's what I heard. And then he gonna break up Cruz Del Toro's fingers. What did he do? Oh my God! Like, get these Dark Lighters away from Ridge, because they are messing him up real bad. Get the Dark Lighters away from him.
Yeah, no, Ridge. He was literally the member of the Brawling Brutes that I gave no shits, like, at all. None. Zero. Zero. So him sitting here acting like I don't like him acting like he don't know what he's doing. Like, are you all right? Are we doing this? You got this two. We got this two personality things happening. What's going on? Because you knew what you did when you picked it. You knew you slammed his hand. Like, clearly you're not doing. If you retired, I don't. I just don't. Yes, that was what I was mentioning. Like, that in itself. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm like a huge fan necessarily, because I still, this is me just being very me being a little bit picky slightly, but I was impressed. And I was like, not me. And if I would have took that, y'all would have just had to see me inside the ring. Like, I would have been Jeff Hardy for the rest of the night. That's it. Y'all wouldn't have seen me for the rest of the night. I'll be there waiting. Like, you know what, you guys, just roll me out. Just roll me out. The fact that Josh was able to get up after, knock Katrina, I'll be done. But yeah, Rich, man, get real. And I just to the comment about Dijak and the sunglasses, I will never forget that, because I don't understand. And what have we learned from people who wear sunglasses in the dark? That we can't trust people with sunglasses inside and in the dark. We can't trust them. So he got. I don't know. He needs to get that together. I can't. I can't let that go. Personally, I can't let it go, because like, not that Jack. Like, okay, sure, you did your thing on the match. I can't give you that, and it's very hard for me to even say. But like, I still can't forget that she was wearing sunglasses in the dark ass room. What are we doing? Like, all right, Stevie, this is going on here. All right, but play piano or something. I don't know what he's doing. I like that. I like those vibes. But yeah, no, Rich, just go home. Like, I don't. I tell you, like, when he came down here, I was already irritated, because I'm just like, listen, who just to his Jeffrey? Like, nobody gonna do nothing. Like, I said what I said. Hello. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna admit I'm not really necessarily, but you know, good for the NXT audience. Good for the audience. Good for them. Good for them. But Katrina, no, I'm like, because I wasn't really a fan of them before. But yeah, that no, he's not gonna do nothing. But get told I said what I said, because again, I can't trust a man. I can't trust a man who wears glasses in the dark. I'm gonna have to look at you real sideways. Like, what can you not, like? How can you see? You gonna lie about having sight? And for me, that means you lie about anything. I can't take you serious after that. Those vibes. I'm just saying. um, so this leads us to the NXT Tag Team Championship match rematch, I guess. Which I have thoughts about the way it ended, but like, just more so I was just kind of confused. And so this is a rematch from Stand Deliver, as we did see Axiom and Nathan Frazer versus the Wolf Dogs and Stand Deliver, and Braun, who moved the ring. May I add? I just have to just to this quote of Testament. I can't trust a person, and like, how are you in the dark? I'm supposed to believe that you, like, that's automatically you lying. And so if you lying about the sight you have in the dark ass room, I can't trust nothing you say. That's quote. That's gonna be a quote for a while. I'm gonna just keep saying that when I see that, Jack. But yeah, and so, Baron did, Braun did his thing. Like, he had the whole ring moving. I was like, oh, okay, Braun, show me what you got. Now that they're not, and yes, because it was mentioned that they did lose. But like, so anyway, I was a little surprised But this was a really, really, really great match. I was actually very impressed with this once again. I was actually very happy with it at Stand and Deliver. But I don't know. I feel like with Braun doing this and Baron, what do we do now? I'm hoping that means, and I can't even say get a call up because Baron has already been on SmackDown or Raw, and so he shouldn't be getting called up again. There's no call up for him. He just goes back. What do you mean? There's no call up for Baron. Baron has already been there, and he went down. And so Braun, however, I would not I want him in NXT, but I also feel like he's now above that in a way. Like he was champion, more than once, and then you had these crazy, great matches multiple times. What else can you do here? You did a good for the time you had the titles with Baron. You did well. Like what else can you do? And so I do think he's definitely getting called up. I will be truly surprised if that doesn't happen. I mean, Sean wanted to keep him close. If that don't happen, I'll be very surprised. That ring shaking that way, but him just basically doing I don't know, man. I'm just saying that's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And I do think that as much as y'all know, I don't like Miss Baron Corbin. I would never like him. But with that being said, I can admit that they did help each other. I do think they did. I thought they worked really well. But Axiom they will basically hit the Golden Ratio and Phoenix Splash to win the NXT Tag Team Champions. And that was unfortunately short-lived because the Final Testament, it was basically the Authors of Pain beating them up, which made me sad because I was like, oh, how are you gonna have to get beat up like this? Okay, I mean, I guess if you guys want to be here, but this fantastic, match. I thought that they did say that if they didn't win it, they'll stop teaming together, which I'm like, stop playing games with me because you can't get us all worked up for yes, and then oh, if you don't win, we're not gonna tag anymore. Then what the hell is the point? Don't play with me like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like those vibes. I didn't like the threat. But I do think that this was just really, really well done. Baron even did a sweep hold, and then Braun did a military press power slam. It was a lot happening. It was, and even with Corbin's end of days, which is supposed to be one of the safest moves in WWE. It's just really fantastic. It's very hard that I have to sit here and praise Baron Corbin. This hurts. Okay, guys, but y'all better stamp it because I'm not gonna hear this again. But I do think they did definitely help each other out in this. But I'm happy for Nathan and Axiom. Do I understand why take it 3 days later and not just letting them have it at Stand and Deliver when they had all that audience, the biggest audience for Stand and Deliver apparently? Why make them wait? I don't know whatever the reason behind it, but maybe it's just because Braun will be leaving soon. I don't know. But what were your thoughts on this matchup?
I'm trying to figure out which match between Stand and Deliver and tonight was the better match because they both were pretty fire. These teams just have really good chemistry. And I could watch them wrestle forever. Axiom, I don't know what it is, what he tapped into, but he's on a different level, especially after Saturday. He's giving it's giving Captain America. He's rumbling. He's doing things don't even make sense sometimes. Even the way he kicked when we really thought that Nathan was done for, kick out of nowhere. Where you came from, Axiom? This man is really a superhero. I love him down. Yes, Axiom, always. So I was really happy to see him get that win. I thought the match was so good. The only thing I could think is and I didn't even realize Braun has a bad record at Stand and Deliver. So I guess they wanted to give him that win, say, here you go. So you don't go up there with that terrible, terrible record and then take it away 3 days later at NXT because it's I guess it doesn't mean anything. It's not as bad. That's the only thing I could think of why they would do that because that kind of threw me off at first too. What? He did what? I'm sick to my stomach.
Oh,
I just wish they would have let Nathan and Axiom celebrate for like, I don't know, longer than a day. Like it was minutes. It was minutes. I know because I tweeted between them both when it both happened. It was sickening to me. I was so upset when I seen them big men just rolling through the audience. I said, my God, they just got done with these behemoths, and now here come these men. They're clearly gonna get beat up. I was sick to my stomach, and I know they're probably gonna lose. That's what's killing me. So what are y'all gonna do? Have them lose, and then what goes on with Axiom and Nathan? They probably gonna lose a spring breaking too, ain't they? I'm sick to my stomach. This is injustice. It's dark-sided, and it's not right. It's honestly unjust. It's a bit evil, and I want to speak to someone. I'm gonna write a letter. I'm gonna have a bitch fit. I am.
that's me gonna start sending them tweets to Sean. Like, let's hear Sean. Let's hear Michael. Let's calm that down. Jeffrey, don't ever say shenanigans like this ever again. Fandom for Baron. Don't do that. That's me saying that they did well as a team is not my fandom. Okay? If I will become a fan of Instinct first before I become a fan of Baron Corbin. I just need you to understand the levels of vibes. If Mortis, listen, don't do this because Alex Shelley's my guy. Like Alex Shelley's my guy. That's my guy.
30 once. It's over. They messed up. They messed up. I'm gonna say it. They messed up. Real bad.
Hate it. I do hate NSYNC. I have to let that be very clear. But I cannot tell why because that will be a very long, extra extended time, and we don't need that. And don't even get me start with Cross. Like Karen Cross upset me so bad night too. I was just like, why are you gonna be here? I was so glad that he got beat up. Wait, no, it does not count. Don't do that. I was so glad he got beat up. Like when he was getting the kendo, I was like, yes, hit him as many times as you can. Yes, it's gonna be bye bye to the block. To play with me, okay? The will be playing. I am not an NSYNC fan. That would be a debate for another day, though, because I can go on the wider reasons I'm not. But I just Braun leaving makes me sad. But also, like, I'm like, they better not have them lose. Like, the specs they said it was gonna not be together after. Like, don't play with me. Like, don't do that and have to get a moment. And then all of a sudden, it's like, like, don't do that. Don't do that. All through the pain, but take their asses back home where they were. Like, it's fine. It's fine. You can go back. You can be there. You better do a netty. Just be there. Give them a match, and then take your asses back to where you belong. I don't want to see you in NXT. I asked for that. I asked you to the last time you was in NXT. So now I really ask for you now. Just saying. This now leads us to Trick Williams deciding to challenge Ilya Dragunov once again. Oh, properly, I guess. For the NXT Championship rematch, and so he, Trick gave Carmelo his flowers, said what he needs to say, and then turned his attention quickly to Ilya Dragunov. And it seemed like the audience was behind it. And while I get everybody is on the Trick Williams train right now, Katrina, no, I was like, you see, this is the problem, Trick. You start getting beside yourself. You want to challenge Ilya for what? To get beat up? So you want to get beat up as well. You want to get a Tony D'Angelo special is what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. You want to get thrown over a bridge, as people should get thrown over a bridge properly, not pretending. And so I didn't particularly like that. I didn't like it at all. I was like, oh no, don't be doing that. So we put those kind of shenanigans in the air, Trick. But it seemed like the crowd was okay with it. I was not. But then he said that he would if he put his NXT career on the line. And so I'm like, here we go with these shenanigans. Like, what if Ilya loses? And then I will, like, because they already had him at Raw yesterday. He was there. And I'm like, are you trying to tell us he might be on Raw? Like, and I don't even watch Raw like that. Okay, it's hard for me to watch Raw because it's too long. This is extra hour I asked for. And so I'm like, oh, they're gonna have Ilya lose to Trick Williams. I just can't do it. Trick is cool, but we're not gonna play these games. We're not gonna play these games. And even though he beat Carmelo, I don't even think he's better than Carmelo. I don't. Personally, I don't think he's good, but he's not better than Carmelo, so he's not gonna be better than my guy Tournament King. I just can't deal. I'm not ready for that. And so Sean might have to get a tweet. He might have to. I might have to just be very annoying. I might have to tweet him. I might have to smoke. I might have to Google his address and be like, listen here, sir. Don't play with me like this. I'm not ready. But whatever. But they agreed to terms anyway, and Carmelo will come and basically beat them up. And then he said he was basically gonna beat up Trick, and then he will fight him next week in a steel cage. Which I was like, okay. I mean, and then right after he has to fight Ilya at Spring Break-In, and so that means that his career being on the line, he's winning, means that if he does lose, they're gonna definitely put him on the main roster. Him getting there before Carmelo is very weird to me, unless they're both going up. And I say this like, while I know Trick got his happening pretty recently in the last few months, it's like, okay, having a nice catchy catchphrase and whoop that Trick, which reminds me of Hustle and Flow. I'm just like, I don't know if that's like something wise, but it could either be Ilya is going up or he is, or him and Carmelo. We'll see. But I do think this is going to change up some stuff. With that being said, and Dragunov to say no at first instead of people who deserve the shot, which I agree. But then he basically said put his career on the line. And so we'll see what this steel cage match will happen next week and how it's going to play out, as well as Spring Breaking. But what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, I was a little bit like, what's going on, Trick? Because who do you think you are? No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying, like, leave Dragunov alone. That's what I'm saying. And then when I seen, my eyes started twitching. I'm not going to hold you. My eyes started twitching when I seen a sign that said, Trick, finish your story. Listen, I'm done. We're not doing that anymore. We're not going to start that with everybody that y'all want to win. Finish your story. We're not doing that. Not this year. I let y'all have it with Cody. I let y'all have it. I get it. But with Trick, we're not doing it. Absolutely not. I'm done with it. We're not doing that anymore. Pack it up. And I am finally getting the triple threat I've been asking for from the beginning. I've been wanting to see Dragunov versus Carmelo versus Trick, and I know that's where we're going. Maybe that's a failsafe for them to have Trick pin Carmelo because he's already done it, and it's not going to really make any waves as opposed to him pinning Dragunov. But I feel like that's where this is going. If he pins Dragunov, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be like, I'm off this. I'm going to walk away because what's going on here? I'm not playing these games. These kid games. No more of this. Dragunov, you better... Okay, you just got a great win from Shinsuke Nakamura. We are not letting Trick Williams finish his story. Absolutely not. Girl, you better finish it with somebody else. You better wait. I don't know who's taking this out from him, but no. I'm not standing for this anymore. I'm sitting, actually. I genuinely am sitting at this moment because I refuse to stand for it anymore. It's getting ridiculous. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, just to this about why he can't have a story. Cody didn't need to have a story. I've been saying this for like a year. Like, y'all gonna stop these shenanigans. Cody didn't even need one. Okay, people don't finish stories every day. You get a book and it starts with you like, what's this? And you close it. Writers get their computers open and they start typing and go, I don't know, I don't like it, and they close the computer. It happens every day. It happens every day. We didn't need his story. Sadly, he finished the story, and I had to be in grief, as I still am, sadly, because my tribal chief. So, don't do that. Ooh, don't do that. So, see, don't put me, guys. Don't you even put Liv Morgan in the situation talking about she's gonna finish her. So with Rhea, don't play with me. Do not even put that negativity in the air. You're not gonna have real loose no damn Liv Morgan. Don't play with me like that. Don't play with me like that. Like you about to get me. I'm out. No, don't even do that. Don't even put that negative. Like I'm like really upset now. Don't do that. Don't you think Liv is supposed to be terrific? Please. Hey, Roderick. We're not doing that. We don't need to finish no more stories. The stories are done. I don't care about no story, no anime story, no comic book story, nothing. No stories. I'm over it. No. Cody got his damn story. Fine. And then he wouldn't ask all those raggedy questions, wouldn't tell a story that nobody even asked for. I was like, who asked for this? I know I didn't answer your question. No, you didn't. You wasted more of my time. That's what you did, Cody. So no stories. With that being said, I'm with you there with like don't do me good. Like I'm dead gonna have to find Sean. Like don't play with me. Like don't be having him lose. Like I cannot grieve 2 times. Okay, in the same month. That's too much for me. I can't be grieving for both Roman and Elite. Don't do that. Like I can't. I don't have that much grief left. So yes, that that is how NXT ended. Just put this back up again, just one more time to say no, we're not. We're not here. The era is done. It's done. Don't stop playing. What tour? Tour of what? How to get on Katrina's nerves? That's the tour? Now see, this is like that's just mad negative. Like which story do Hanky Tank have? How to match? I just want to know. Like what's happening there. But that is the way NXT has come to an end. I am looking forward to see what's gonna happen with spring breaking. But I can't. I need time to prepare myself because, like, if Ilya just know that let's not. Because if he goes to Raw, then I gotta watch Raw, and I have not watched Raw fully in a long time. I'm gonna be honest, I have not. That extra hour really does something to me. It's like, oh, you clearly don't want me to watch. That's what I'm hearing, WWE. You don't want me to watch this because you gave an extra hour when it's time for me. I'm getting tired now, so I'm gonna do all that. So he better not go. He better get smacked. If I can't. But thank you guys for watching. I mean, so it's like the TV. To be fair, I already know, but I'm gonna let you do it after I say. I know what you feel about Damien. We already know Let the Pants, or as it's been known for some reason over the last few days, bisexual Kane. I was like, yo, where'd that come from? I did laugh. To be fair, I laughed. It was funny. I laughed. With that being said, it's like when he was explaining himself at the press conference about being like homeless 10 years ago, I'm like, okay, makes you feel a little bit more like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like you able to bounce back to something like that. But with that being said, I really thought Drew McIntyre was gonna get his moment. And because he wants to do all this, because he wants to do all this extra, he had like maybe a minute or two, maybe. And then Damien came and did what he did, and that was over. I was like, oh, Drew, look at you doing shenanigans. You should have learned. Have you learned nothing from Phil? Have you learned nothing? But yes, no, I know they said unto, but I've heard bisexual Kane as well. And to be fair, if you looked at the way Damien's one piece outfit was looking, it definitely gave me Kane vibes as well, and so I can get it. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that before I end it. I know you have.
I was having such a good day that day also, and then it was ruined. Bailey and Io saved it, but it was ruined until that match happened, and that was a long show, so you can understand. Drew, I don't understand why you felt the need to do your best Moulin Rouge crawl across that table over to CM Punk. I don't understand why you kept pushing I'm not going to get into it, but it was getting very sensual between you two. I don't understand what that was about, Drew. You really got me so. All you had to do was leave. I would have took for you to do one of these again. I would have rather you did this than you taking yourself over there. Like, what are you doing? You were so fanned out. Why do you love CM Punk like that? Like, it really was pissing me off because you could have just walked up the ramp and we all would have went home happy. All of us. No. Now you upset, I'm upset. Because you're tweeting during work. You should be fined for that. You really should. And then, I'm not even going to get... I just can't believe that, Drew, you know what? I'm going to wake up every day and just say good morning to everyone but Drew McIntyre. Because why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Yeah, no, I love Drew. I was like, my God, you have one job. Go up. I'm like, what? But I'm like, but to be fair, Bad Bunny's response to him talking about how your ship was great, that was top tier for me. Because I'm like, anybody who knows Bad Job, you're like, oh. So I did laugh at that. With that being said, though, I don't know why Drew did all that. Like, bro, you took too much time. Even CM Punk told him to enjoy his win. He told him to enjoy his win. And he, instead of enjoying his win, he did all that and then he lost. And so I didn't bully him. I just said he should have did all that. Like, you gotta call. Listen, if I was a friend with somebody and I'm like, oh, and you lost, well, guess what you should have been doing, friend? Guess what you should have been doing. So I'm just saying. But
I object to this. I strongly object to this. It was giving flop. It was giving flop Isha, and I love Seth down. But it was giving flop Isha the whole weekend. Flop Isha. You shouldn't even been in that tag match in the first place. You should have been focused. Focused! But you wasn't focused. Because you're too busy. You and Roman need to go to therapy. For real. Together. I'm tired of the trauma between the both of you. Literally.
Yeah, Roman pissed me off that. I was like, my God, you have one job. You had to turn the chair, just turn to your right and hit Cody. Oh no. Let me hit Seth one more time. You could have hit Seth on a different day. Or what you could have done was after you won, you could find Seth in the parking lot and then give him a chair shot just off principle. You could have waited. It's you gotta know the multitask. But yes, that is the end of NXT. Guys, thank you as always for hanging out with us and listening to our shenanigans because we do them sometimes. We do. Shay, tell the people what you got going on, where they can find you.
All right, so this week, obviously, WrestleMania happened, so there is not a new episode of the Big Pop Theory podcast. This is the break week. Everyone take a break, and we'll be back next week. You can catch me on Twitch. I'm in the middle of rebranding a whole new style to it, so we in dark mode right now, but we're gonna be back very soon. It's on the way. And then you can catch me on Saturday for the Collision review on Unpopular Review, and yeah, then you catch me right back here talking crap about something.
You guys find me on social media and Cat We Trust E3 on everything but Facebook because it's a little bit easier to say than to list all the social media platforms. I will be having a new interview with somebody from with Seth Tiki Chimura soon. Hopefully, I'm hoping they want it released soon, just because it's supposed to be for Asian American and Pacific Islander month, so I'm not sure. But I'm going to be doing that as well as having some new interviews. It's been crazy, guys. It really has been. And just basically keep up with my YouTube channel. I'm going to try to get into my Twitch gaming. I mean, I'm playing a lot more. Okay, I've been playing a lot more. I'm proud of myself. Very hard. But that's basically what's happening on my end. Just definitely go check it out. Also, please, if you can, support our Slam Chat. Well, the girlies here, me and Shay, everybody's favorite duo, because we are everybody's favorite. Support us on Slam Chat if you can. And as always, guys, we will catch you guys next week. Love y'all, and we'll see you next